We have three major programs. One is being domestic violence, sexual violence, and the courts. So in both the domestic and sexual violence programs, our main service is counseling. We also have in the courts, we have advocates at the 4 courts on the Cape Cod, Superior, and District in the Barnstable, and then Falmouth and Orleans. Independence House main office is in Hyannis, but we also have offices in Falmouth, Orleans, and Provincetown. Some people want to know exactly what happens when if I decide that I need some help. So we have a pretty easy process. Number one, you can walk in at any time. We prefer an appointment because then we'll know there's a counselor there for you. You could call the hotline. The counselor on the line will talk to you and find out if you need any immediate needs, explain to you what happens when you come. The first step is we call the intake. And we set up an appointment and a counselor meets with you and we have some paperwork to fill out. If there's no emergency needs at the time, it's simply a conversation about what you need, and then a counselor will call you in about a week to set up a time that's convenient to you. Everything is confidential. When somebody goes to the hospital for sexual assault, if it's during the day, staff will go and be an advocate for that person. During the evening hours, we have volunteers. So it's a 24-hour service that we have. We work very closely with the SANE nurses and the police department. The SANE nurse is a sexual assault nurse examiner who is in charge of the exam, and the police are there to collect information. Our role as an advocate is to let them know about the services of Independence House. If they're a little hesitant, if they have family members there, just to be that assistant. In all of the different communities and genders and relationships where there's abuse, the common thread is power and control, right? Somebody has to have power, and in order to keep that, they put lots of things in place to control. And so that thread is the same, but for different populations, they have different challenges. So we serve women, children, and men. We know that men are abused, and we also know that our culture sees men as the primary perpetrators. But so that is another population that we have a gap reaching, because I think our culture tells men they shouldn't be, they're wimps if they are in some kind of a relationship like that. So we do serve men, and we want everyone to know that because it's important. And an additional service that we have had for about a year now is that we have a shelter. It's for emergency shelter that somebody in danger, and we are part of the statewide network called SafeLink. So somebody can call that on their own, but that's a resource we have for housing. This year, we're going to be having different events throughout the year to celebrate the 40 years, and we hope that people can be looking for those. One is the Clothesline Project, and one is the Silent Witnesses. They both are physical displays of people who have experienced abuse in any form, and the Silent Witnesses actually are life-size figures of people who have died due to domestic violence in the past year in Massachusetts. So these are very moving displays, and one of the reasons that we show these things is because the subject is so hard to talk about, but it does bring it to people's attention that it's still, we still have to work on this issue.